Here are some interesting stats from the P2W data set that is found within the P2W Fantasy Patreon that you can apply to fantasy football. Quarterback upside metrics were broken down into 3 categories: percentage of 300-plus passing yard games, percentage of 3-plus passing touchdown games, and percentage of 50-plus rushing yard games. Only 2 quarterbacks hit all 3 categories at a 20%-plus rate: Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. Of all quarterbacks who had at least 20 red zone attempts, Tua had the highest percentage of red zone attempts that resulted in a red zone touchdown at 33.33%. He didn't turn over the ball in the red zone. Running back upside metrics were broken down into percentage of games played with 100-plus rushing yards, percentage of games played with 7-plus targets. Only 1 running back hit both categories at a 20%-plus rate: Christian McCaffrey. 4 running backs had over 0.10 broken tackles per rushing attempt. Of the 4, only 2 running backs had over 0.12 for this metric: Jonathan Taylor and Dameon Pierce. Wide receiver upside metrics were broken down into 2 categories: percentage of games played with 10-plus targets and percentage of games played with 100-plus receiving yards. You can see below the 5 wide receivers that hit these at a 40%-plus rate. Looking at the percentage of games played with 10-plus targets, for those that qualified, only 1 player was at 65+% with 75%, and that's Jamar Chase, who coexists with T. Higgins. If we're looking at wide receiver target trends, 2 veteran players really stuck out in the data. Looks like they had nothing but good colors for their trends. One was suspended, one was banged up, but when playing, they earned targets at an elite rate, and those 2 guys are DeAndre Hopkins and Keenan Allen. 4 tight ends had the exact same percentage of games played with 70-plus receiving yards, 33.33%. That's Mark Andrews, George Kittle, Pat Freiermuth, and Dallas Goedert. Of those guys listed, only 2 of them had over 50% of their games played with 7-plus targets, and that's Mark Andrews and Pat Freiermuth. Just a tease of some data that is found within that massive data set. It's 30-plus tabs of different categories for all positions that you can really draw some good conclusions for. It's in the Patreon Discord, but that's just one section of that Discord. There is so many different areas of content that is being plugged on a daily basis with the intent to help you play to win. $5 a month, it's well worth your dollar. Go check it out today if you just Google P2W Fantasy Patreon.